First Affirmative, of course, we began primarily focused on being managers of managers. So the first program that we managed internally out of the investment committee at First Affirmative is the Efficiencies Managed Mutual Fund. This is the 10-year track record of efficiencies. So I think, again, we've demonstrated over time a capability to manage managers. And we're very proud that we've accomplished what we set out to do, managing portfolios of mutual funds. When we began the Generations program, for the first year, we were in negotiations with the separate account managers to try to get them to join the program, but we had to have product in the on the platform to be able to start it, to bring it up to speed. And of course, we do appreciate that among the very first people to support the Generations platform were Portfolio 21 and SKBA and Trillium. But again, we had to create some folios ourselves to get started. So essentially, the beginning of the Generations program began some level of in-house asset management at First Affirmative. And so we do have some folios with 3-year track records, or actually we have some with 5-year track records. And we started out with essentially baseline index tracking folios. We also were the first manager that we fired from the program in international space. We determined that we were not doing an adequate job. We dropped our offering when we were able to attract Boston Common and Advisor Partners to handle ADRs. So we do not have I would say that we've demonstrated the fact that if we don't do a good job, we will take our stuff off if it's not competitive, if it's not doing what it's supposed to do. The other reason we created folios was to have options in space where we couldn't find other managers. Folio FN does not support individual fixed income, and so one of the things we have is a fixed income folio, which we manage using socially responsible fixed income funds. We created an equity income folio, and as I show you some of the other things we have, again, they're primarily opportunities in spaces where there isn't an alternative or a space where we can, again, manage managers. So to bring it down to year to date, because again, many of these are relatively new, and even we have some of the folios that we've created don't even have a 9-month record yet. And as we spoke about yesterday, we're working with G-Sphere on some of these. But the fixed income folio year to date is double the performance of the benchmark. Well, how did that happen? Now, our investment committee, we're not market timers. However, when something happens that is a once-in-a-lifetime event, and of course part of the underperformance in fixed income the prior year is that these socially responsible mutual funds had no treasury exposure. Well, the treasury got so overvalued, for the first 3 months of this year we shorted the treasury. And so we recovered all of the losses that we suffered relative to the bar cap benchmark in 2008, and then some in the first 4 months of this year. We also have international fixed income in this folio, and so as the dollar has weakened, we've also benefited by exposure to global fixed income. Alternative assets is a space where, again, as we're trying to determine what kinds of securities we are able to use in the space where there are not SRI existing products. The small cap and mid cap are both G-Sphere optimized portfolios. They began their lives as intended to be index following. We converted them over to G-Sphere, and as you can see, we're pretty pleased with how that has been working out. But again, this is a relatively short cycle, and we don't know. We do work with KLD on our large cap blend, equity income. We do have a high current income, but that is a K1 generator, and so you need to have a client that's very tolerant of getting K1s. And then we have Green Tomorrow, which is a fund of exchange-traded funds. So, again, these are, and then we've added a few of these other ones, the Dynamics by G-Sphere I talked about yesterday, and the SRI funds plus and SRI funds, 30% equity funds. And the, again, as we continue to learn and experiment with the G-Sphere product, these are things that are optimized by G-Sphere. People are concerned, is a conflict of interest for us to recommend our own product. And again, in many respects, that's partly your job, where you say, is this recommendation appropriate, and is it okay to show this? It is, of course, a less expensive product for us to deliver if we manage it ourselves, obviously, so it's a higher margin for us. So I believe we have to meet a higher standard to recommend it, and that's, again, your job to make sure that if we recommend it, that it is a suitable recommendation. As we have mutual fund folios, we do have the fund level short-term redemption fees that are causing us some challenges, and of course, all the stuff I told you, past performance is no guarantee of future results. So that's the end.
Thank you, George.